Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's the 12-week year. You and I have 84 days together. I'm so glad to see you participating, to see you showing up, and to see you working on just finding a pattern that makes your life better and better for you. So today we're going to be talking about time management and confirming and referring. So the reason that we talk about time management tools so much in the accountability group is because it is a methodology as a group that we can confirm and refer. So a lot of times we'll say, hey, everybody, let's just take a minute or two and talk about what you're using as timing methods. And that's so that you can hear what someone else is doing. They may have the same methodology as you do, but they may be using it in a different way. So you get confirm that, oh, they're using that too. Oh, somehow that makes it more right or something. And it's also referring you to another way to do it. To quote someone else in group, there's more than one way to feed a cat, right? There are many ways that you're going to find systems. And what ends up happening, and here's kind of the spoiler alert, is that the more times you do the 12-week year, the more you learn the system, the more you build that muscle that you are going to manage your time, you're going to watch your time, you're going to make a list, that you are being held accountable, that you know that this is going to work better for you, you're watching other people grow. The more you do it, the more you'll hit this area of kind of just ether around you of tasks that you've left for years or things that have built up back here, but still take emotional energy. There's still an emotional energy by having an inbox that's like piled to the brim. Now, I don't know who wins for my number one email box, but I do think it is someone that was in the evening group, and that was 300 and some thousand emails. I didn't know you could have emails, that many emails. So for those of you who have some of these back tasks, the longer you stay with this program and that you start really focusing in on these front tasks and getting some of these goals done, what will happen is that methodology of managing your time all the way through will just naturally kind of wiggle forward, and you'll also start taking on these after about 3 rounds. So it won't take long before you start learning the habits of managing that resource. And remember, time is a form of capital. In it is when you are thinking about using capital, this is that prosperity mindset. Time is a form of capital. It is a resource. It is something that is, yes, it's precious, but it also has to have readiness. It has to be available to you. It has to be able to be elevated in some way. It has to be able to kind of stake the rest of your life. So when you are looking at time management, you're looking for, again, the things that help you get to the promises you want to keep for yourself. It is claiming what you want here and using all of those resources. The reason we talk about time management, yes, it's confirming and referring, but it is also the way to say, how am I going to do this? What feels right for me right now? Because the time methods that you're using in one project may not be the same time management tools you're going to use in a different project. That many of you have goals that have a long lead and lag. So the way that you're timing those methods or tracking them may be very different than a fitness goal. So you guys are using a lot of things. So remember, time is your capital. This is the place that will make you the most wealthy, the most healthy, the most wise, the most fun. So you're going to want to pile all of your resources towards that time that it takes for you to get to where you want to go. And so some of you are doing time buyback systems where you're actually saying, look, I'm not going to do these tasks anymore. I'm going to offload them to someone else, right? That some of you are giving things to Upwork. Some of you are using Fiverr. Some of you are using AI. That you're using other tools to say, hey, I got to put some boundaries on my time, and I need someone else to do those tasks. I shouldn't be doing them. So sometimes it's just as simple as saying, can somebody else do this? Some of you would just have these long, long legal pads of stuff. And while that is a great capture method, what I love about those people who have those long lists is they do keep them in a page, but whenever you see someone that has that methodology where they have the legal pad conversation, you always see that there are 6 to 8 pages that are folded over so that they are just this long list. It's easy to have decision fatigue on that. It's easy to skim on that. To skim meaning that let me look through all of the tasks. So the more that you can skim something that is large, the more you have to skim it, it means there's another methodology that you're going to want to apply. So when you're having to go through lots of data to get through checking your systems or seeing where you are in a process, if you have to skim something that's large, you might want to say, how can I take this large document and get it to a sticky note? And that's what the 12-week year does, is it says, we're just going to focus on 3 things right now, not all the things. But we're going to drive 3 things forward and 3 things that are the most meaningful to us. And we're going to make sure that those have time first. Even for those of you who are in the Stephen Covey method, it first things first, right? There's a lot of other methods. There are a lot of great methods, but none of those methods will work without something that works with you. You want to find the time or you want to find the things that are going to become a ritual for you that feels supportive, not adaptive. That you want to find the things that make you want to do that thing. So for for losing weight, a lot of those people are picking out meal planning. For gaining strength, lots of those people are also picking meal planning. For being healthy, lots of those people are bringing meal plan. So many people for managing the blood sugar levels, those people are meal planning. For people who have just too many things to do and just need lunch, those people are meal planning. So you have sometimes people who have the same outcome, but they're going to use very different methods to get there. But many of those methods have a lot of similarity where you can understand the shortcuts. And so one example is that some of you are using AI tools to say, hey, here are the 5 recipes I want to cook this week. Cut, paste, cut, paste. Can you give me a shopping list? Boom. Now, in 1 minute, they have a shopping list for all of the things that they were using. So when we are looking at capital and resources of what are the resources that you can apply to your goals, using other tools is very helpful, and AI is one of those tools. It is also using the tool of a notebook. It is also using the tool of reminding yourself of those goals. So we saw people use planners. For those of you who are visual, that was really helpful, that you have a visual, something that you can look at all of the time. The same of you who just use a plain notebook, we often see you having pages and pages of stuff that are just notes that you've written down that aren't actually then translated into something else. So if you are someone who takes a lot of notes during the day, you have to be able to say, what's step 2? How do I elevate this method? So one of the things you want to look at as the methods that you're using is to say, what would elevate this? What would elevate my use of email? What would elevate the way that I am doing certain projects? What is the elevation model? So when you are looking at these pieces, right, you're just going to go, well, what are the notes that I have to keep here? And how can I do that? And some of you are using that on digital reminders that you're saying, hey, I really have to block off time for my financial planning. Let me put that in as a quarterly date and I'll schedule it into my calendar system. And then you also have reminders that come up on your phone. So sometimes it's a reminder to say, go take a walk. Or, right, Linda brought up that she's having one tool ding her every hour that says, hey, take your steps. And then she has those steps put right into her Fitbit. And she figured out that she just needs 250 steps every hour. So every hour she gets up and walks around the house. And that breaking it down by the hour was the appropriate way for her to say, hey, I had the goal, it looked like this. That goal wasn't working. I took that goal is still the goal is still the goal. Let me rephrase that. The goal is still the goal, but the way that I'm achieving that goal wasn't working for me. And that was the should have list, right? I should be working on that elliptical. She doesn't like the elliptical. It's not her machine. It's not what she's going to do. So she went, oh, let me reframe that and not try to fight through it, right? Because we're looking for things that are rituals that you can do, that you enjoy, that you opt in. That is what you're looking for in managing time, is managing how you interface with that time that you have in a way that has tasks and strategies that are supportive to you, that they add energy to you, that they are life-giving, that so a walk for 250 steps is life-giving, and it's life-giving for right now. She may not keep that. One of the other reasons why you want to keep working on the 12-week year is because what worked for you at one mindset will evolve, and you will evolve, and you will get new skills, and you'll get new tactics. And that's why you want to review your tactics for the week. Did it work? That sometimes cooking the same dinner on Tuesday night for some people is life-giving. It's Taco Tuesday. I love it. Wednesday is spaghetti day. That's great. But guess what? Sometimes you don't want Wednesday to be spaghetti day anymore. And so you just have to find other tools to do that. And you have to put that into the system. So one of the things that you are looking at is how are you achieving your tactics, and what are the tools that you're giving there? So she is saying, here is my goal, here are the tactics. Let me program in something to help me remember it. Then let me put in another thing that helps me track it. And then I have some sort of interface that says, I got that done today. I have a way to go, oh, I can just look at my watch. Yep, I got my steps in. Check. So having filters is another tool that a lot of people are using on their time, is filtering information so that you can do it easily. And that's also sometimes looked at as task grouping. So just saying, look, I'm going to group all these tasks together. So another tool that you have is just saying, here are the tasks that I'm going to do together all of the time. If I'm going to do some computer tasks, I'm going to put those right in. So there, I want all of the things that I have to do on the computer available. So I'm going to schedule a time that is perhaps got my email. It may have any reports that I have to do. It may be to say, I'm going to take 3 hours and I'm really just going to group all these tasks that are alike and put them in there. Many people already do this with their errands, that you're like, I'm going to go to the grocery store, then I'm going to go to this, that, right? I'm going to get in the car, I'm going to drive around for 3 or 5 hours and get all my errands done. And so that's really grouping tasks. Some of you are putting in filters. Some of you are really attacking this ethereal thing of lists back here. And that ethereal piece of lists has, again, two benefits. It has the ability to give you your life force back so you can be more present because you don't have this large nagging set of lists in the back. Some of you have put so many things back there because you live rock star lives that it's overwhelming to even think about. It's overwhelming that every closet is stuffed. It's overwhelming that you haven't looked at that thing for so long. It's maybe starting to story tell. So when you are looking at these back tasks, if you just stay with the program, you will hit them. And you will hit them um, even if you didn't think you could, because they will naturally present themselves to you when you have a little more management around your time. So putting in filters in your email allows you to say, hey, I'm only going to filter these things. As you shorten and open up space in the present towards your goals, you will automatically go back to some of these things that were sitting for a while. So group tasking is one thing, to say, I'm going to put these tasks together. I'm going to filter information that comes into me. And then I'm going to decide what I need to opt into now and what I need to opt out of. And people have a whole bunch of things that make them crazy about unsubscribing. So sometimes you don't want an organization to know you're unsubscribing. You don't want to not show support. There's a whole bunch of methodology around unsubscribe. So sometimes they're putting them into a folder so they can think about making that decision later, or they already have decision fatigue. One of the things that I do have to always remind people about is that decision fatigue is real. So when you have too many tasks and goals and things like that, you're just tired. And the other is, again, that freedom of taking away that clutter, that the more you can kind of deal with all the things that you've been stuffing for a long time, the more you can be present in today's goals, because all of that is done or it's been marked as I'm never going to do it. So sometimes it's just claiming that no, it's not going to happen. But sometimes it is to say, here are the tasks that I think I can get done in a group. So when you are looking at some of your time methods, sometimes your time method is to give a location that has the group tasks in it. So sometimes that physical location for me is in the garage. And I would go, okay, what are all the garage tasks that I have to get done? Sometimes that physical location is a file. What are all the files? What are all the things I need to do around this project? So sometimes it is just grouping tasks and then giving those tasks a time for the whole group, and then put them onto your calendar, or putting them into a reminder, or figuring out the time in those tasks, or doing that kind of time wrap. A lot of you are doing a time wrap, and that time wrap is traditionally around, I'm going to sit down with my coffee every week, and I'm going to just figure out all the tasks that need to get done. And then I'm going to put some of them into my calendar and some not, but I'm going to kind of wrap around those skills. So sometimes you're just saying, here are all the things that are in the week. But again, sometimes you can use these other methods to say, yeah, let's get it. Let's look at all of the tasks that have to be done in the garage or around this other goal, right? What are my creative tasks that need to get done? So time wrap planning, again, is just taking a time, wrapping it around it, and looking at your whole week. The giving yourself a deadline. You have a natural deadline with the 12-week year, but your project itself may have a deadline. You may have to be somewhere at some time. So looking at deadlines, looking at filters, looking at how to unsubscribe from things, looking at your legal pad list. Is this a place to elevate? Can you elevate the way that you're using all of your capital, right? The resources that you have. When you start looking at your goals, are they ready? Do they have a readiness? Is there something else that you're missing in your planning process? Because I can't meal plan if I don't have groceries to make it. Or I can't meal plan unless I review the cupboards. So looking at what we have, I can't meal plan until I see what we didn't eat from last week. So it may be putting in these reminders earlier in the week so that you are ready by the time Sunday meal planning happens, right? Check the inventory, make a list. So there are methodologies that help you, support you, invite you to move faster, and to build in rituals of when tasks are naturally appropriate for you. Meal planning for some people should be done at the beginning of the day. Meal planning for other people starts at around 9:30. And you're going to find your way. And remember, when we're together, learning what other people are doing and how they're doing it is there to confirm and refer. So sometimes it's confirming that your method is right. Sometimes it's confirming that it needs another direction. And that confirmation is referring to say, oh, I've got to go another way. There is another way. There is another tool. There is another piece of technology. It was a lot. Some of you are using just the sticky note of the top 3 things. Sometimes you're sticking that on your calendar. Sometimes you're sticking it on where you have. Some of you are very visual. Some of you are physical. Some of you are very really that you like to manage it quietly in your head. And for those of you who manage it in your head, it just won't work over time. It won't allow you to magnify what you have, because by keeping it all in your head in that methodology, what happens is you always have this ethereal group of things that have to get done, and that is fatiguing and is particularly difficult on your parasympathetic system. So your health will not allow you to keep that method forever. You will have to move forward and commit to a system, any system that you can start to do for 3 days, for a week, right? We're in the 12-week year, but you're going to start something every single week with a fresh eye and a fresh mind to go, I think I'm strong enough to do that this week. I think I'm good this week. I think I can do this week. I think I can try to write out my list at the beginning of the week. I think I can try to schedule just 2 things on my calendar this week. I think I can take a few minutes and unsubscribe from things. I think I can take 15 or 20 minutes at the end of the week to think about what I got done and really be proud of that. I think I can sit and just put a list together of the things I'm actually ignoring. I think I can put together just a 3 by 5 card of things that feel really important to me that might not be on my goals, but maybe could be on my goals. So sometimes it is just opting in for whatever it is that you are eligible to opt in at, and starting to just go, is this a list? Is this planning? Is this setting up something on your computer? Is this using another tool? You want to put your resources to benefit your resource. And time is that form of capital. It is your nest egg. It is where all your wealth is. It is the equalizer. We all have the equalizer. And that is that we all have the same 10 minutes, the same 15 minutes, the same 30 minutes that we have to try to claim. And that is a revolution, that claiming the time for you and claiming the things that are important to you and putting you and your things first before everything else, that's a revolution that you will have to have courage. And it is easy to put you last. So putting those goals very first in the day, giving yourself a congratulations, putting in a Yahoo. If you had completed something really big, I would put up a Yahoo note, right? Because you want that confirmation that this is working. This is working. If you lost a half a pound, congratulations. We have somebody that stacked um, butter boxes. So she knew that a box of butter was four sticks. So she figured out how much a box of butter was, and then her whole theme was, how can I take? What time do I need to take to burn some butter? And that's how she got through burning her fat. Was she put herself in a way that she could visually see that she just burned a tablespoon of fat today, because a tablespoon of that was this, right? So you kind of sometimes will set up things in your mind that help you wrap your mind around what you're doing in a way that's easy to understand. It's delightful to participate in, and it helps in taking out all of this clutter that's laying back here and allowing you to stay present and calm and filled with the front seat of your life. And the front seat of your life is saying, I'm looking forward. I'm not dragging all the stuff back, but I'm allowed to sit in the seat. I am unencumbered, and I can be present in my life and looking forward. And that is what I am looking forward to in every minute you and I get to spend together. So thank you for being here. This was a little rattle Robbie because we had a lot to get through. But the things I want you to take away from you are confirming and referring. The reason you want to come to class and you want to hear what everybody else is doing is because it's going to confirm what you are doing, but it's also going to refer you to new techniques. It's also going to say, here's how this person's doing it. They're doing the same way, they're doing the same method, but they're doing it differently, or they're gaining something else different from it. So this is why you want to also come to accountability group, because hearing and seeing and being in it live is fabulous. When you're looking at that, I want you to think about that prosperity mindset, that capital. This is capital. Your time is capital. And you want to apply all of your resources to that form of capital. And remember, you're looking to balance it. You're looking to find creativity. You're looking to be with that capital because that's the wealth of your life. Capital is the wealth of your life. That um, it is that nest egg of here's how I'm going to build all the things that I want. And you deserve those things. All the things that you put down as goals, you deserve. The question is how you going to get there. And the other piece that I'm just putting in is that you don't have to get there alone. And when we are working together, it's going to work a lot faster. And it's clunky and it's weird and there's all sorts of emotional garbage with it. And that's what we all have. We all have it. And that's okay because you're worth it. You're worth fighting for. So if you haven't been to class and you didn't think that you should show up or felt awkward about it, throw that emotional baggage away. We all are happy to see you in class, and we are all happy to see your progresses and your regressions because it gives us that reminder that we love loving you and we love loving your process because we love loving us and we love loving our process too. So have a great week. I am honored to spend time with you, and you are something special. So have a great week, and we'll see what you're using. Bye.